All right, welcome to our third episode of In the Flow. We don't even know how to start this one because it's been so fucking long since we filmed, since we've done it in the flow, since we've done any content making at all. So bear with us because we're a little stunned and stoned as per usual.
What else is new?
Yeah.
I guess we could start with an introduction. So my name is Courtney.
And I'm Hannah.
And we are the Eureka Effect.
Yes, and we're also doing our nails in the background, so if you hear any clicking and whirring, we are not grinding up dead bodies. It is just self-care stuff.
Yeah, we're getting ready for like a pretty big weekend, so
yeah, which is nice because it's been a fucking hell of a week, my dude.
Yeah, very hectic.
At the beginning of the week, I had a fun incident with my phone that left it absolutely shattered. And I can't get it fixed till Friday, maybe, if the part comes in that they need for it. So that's fun. And that's what I've been dealing with. So.
And that is exactly why we did not have a video out on Friday, because it was basically all ready to go. And yeah, Thursday night, it got ran over.
Yeah.
Not by a ranger either.
It got ran over. Yeah, the whole video got fucking ran over, basically.
Yeah, so it's postponed, but it is coming.
I know, I'm excited about it. It is sad that I didn't get it out when I wanted to, but I have a better idea of how I want to edit it anyway, so it's fine. It'll be fine.
Everything does happen for a reason, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. It's like we discussed about this situation. So, financially, obviously, to fix this phone, it's like, I gotta front that money. So, I've been forced to sort of start selling. What are you looking for?
The pillow.
Sort of start selling things on the line, which we have been discussing lately anyway, because we want to kind of start a store.
Yeah.
How much of this plan are we revealing?
I don't know. Well,
how much?
I don't know. I think we can be open and honest.
Is it more fun to be secretive and keep it dry? No, I'm just kidding. I don't think that's really our style.
Yeah.
What's the point of not telling them about it if it's what we're gonna manifest anyway? Here, I'll just hold the light.
Exactly. Perfect. All right. I'm just busting out my old school nail technician skills here that haven't been practiced in a while.
She's rusty. Yeah, fun fact, Courtney has her nail license in Canada.
Well, it's actually
expired right now.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't have to tell them that.
Open and honest.
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
Yeah, anyway, about that, I don't know. I think it would be interesting if you explained exactly how you, before maybe the old you would have wallowed in your own misery about breaking your phone and yourself.
Don't get me wrong, I absolutely did as the new me in the beginning for a couple minutes, but
you reacted, but then it came back from
I was able to pull because and that is a very frustrating, detrimental thing to be happening right now. I'm on CERB. Can't really afford the $400.
Mm-hmm. But that's how it goes, though.
Oh, God, all the time, yeah.
And it's funny because every time that this has happened to me, besides the last time I used it as a lesson to not be going out to the bar so much, but that's another story.
Yeah.
But,
it's a lesson in progress.
Yeah, it was just kind of it was horrible and it broke my heart when I picked up your phone and I seen how shattered and destroyed it was.
Yeah, so I realized in the gas station that I didn't have it. We were picking up nerds because we were going to make homemade nerd ropes. And I'm like, oh shit, my phone's not here. And I was like, I know I brought it with me. So Ryan called Courtney. And they were talking, and I can tell by Ryan's reaction it wasn't good. And I was like, "Spit it out, just tell me." It was awful. It's just the reason that it is so upsetting is because we were trying to push content out, and because it literally happened, man, on Thursday night, and we had the video to post for Friday. Such a little friggin' kick to the ego.
Exactly. And I know we were all ready to go. Mm-hmm. And you're in no financial place to be
dealing with that.
Exactly. But on the flip side, you have a bunch of stuff. Like, Hannah is an avid makeup collector, and she also has a bunch of crafts and a bunch of stuff that she could sell that she's been kind of like hesitant.
A hoarder, basically.
Yeah, hesitant to sell, and it kind of gave her that push because she needs that money, right? Yeah. So all in all, I mean, I think it's pretty apparent that it was time for you to let go of that stuff, because you already mentioned that you did want to downsize.
Yeah. Well, I was telling you that it was kind of the universe's way of saying, hello, like, you've talked about this. You said you wanted to just do this. You want to sell the shit that you make, so fucking just do it.
Exactly. And on the flip side, it's giving you a kind of business practice. Like, it's giving you practice shooting the shit with customers and like selling on Poshmark, exploring all those avenues.
See, selling you, like, online,
dipping your feet in the water.
Yeah, selling online is very new to me. Sorry, I interrupted you halfway through the sentence. Okay. Anyway, selling online to me is new and different, but I've helped my friend sell her soaps at, like, craft fairs. My mom used to sell scarves to, like, help fundraise for what they do. So that face-to-face interaction totally I can do, but, like, the over the internet stuff is, like, awkward, man. I don't know. I know
what you mean, 100%. That's why I'm kind of envious that you are kind of put in that position, because you're getting a head start on being able
if you want to take care of this shit for a second,
I can give it a whirl.
You can step in and I'm telling you right now, it's not all that. I mean, I'm being dramatic. I made $95 this morning, so
it's awesome.
It's actually pretty sick for stuff that's just sitting in my drawers that I'm
and good for you for downsizing, being able to let go. I feel like there's many lessons that you've learned in this.
Oh God, you know what? Makeup addiction and, like, consumerism for me, that's something that I've really been letting go of too. Like, not needing the next palette every time it comes out, and, like, because I don't know, you do financially become a slave to, like, the beauty industry.
Exactly, and you can, like you said, you can do so many looks with, one sec, let's put your foot more up. Yeah. Ooh. I hate sitting on the floor, but it is what it is.
We'll switch soon.
Broke bitch,
problems. This ain't no salon.
Yeah.
My leg hurts.
Is that your bad leg?
My bad leg? I think they're both honestly bad at this point.
Okay, I'm gonna wipe your foot.
What were we saying earlier? I don't remember.
Lost my train of thought.
All right, well, now we're talking about the pedicures again.
Yeah. Oh, maybe we can talk about how busy we've been and, like, what we've been up to.
In what aspect besides me smashing my phone?
Oh, I just mean, like, yesterday. That was a pretty sick day.
Oh my God, yesterday was so
We came to, like, a couple conclusions, and I feel like yesterday was very other foot, the one with the sauce all over it still.
You guys have no idea what's going on. It's terrifying now. Yeah, yesterday we went to, so they call it a water park, but it's more like an inflatable playground above water.
Ever see the show Wipeout?
Yeah, it's like a Wipeout, but for kids. Man, when we were rolling up to the spot, let me tell you, I was like, this is awkward. All the adults are, like, in their little chairs on the beach. All the kids were already playing because we were late, and we're 4. Or how many of us were there?
There was 5. Remember we car.
Never figure out how many of us. Anyway, it took me a couple seconds to get comfortable, but let me tell you, I flung myself off of high things. I fell several times, mouthfuls of water.
Honestly, when I used to watch Wipeout, like, I used to judge them so hard, but when you get going on that obstacle course, it's hard to even just stand.
I think you need to run the course, like, 2 or 3 times to warm up, because it's
a lot of sauce.
Oh my God, yeah. To look at it and then to jump is, like, 2 different... I don't know, 2 different worlds apart.
Yeah, you're also a Virgo, though.
Oh, yeah, and I'm also terrified of water. I was convinced I was going to die several times, but there were so many, literally. There was, like, a kid who was probably 3, so I had to suck it up every time I fell in the water.
Yeah, I know. He was young.
I know, he was right young, but he was zipping around right good, honestly.
Okay.
Better than I was.
So that foot that I just painted...
goes under.
Right there, stick it in there.
Okay.
Come on. Come on in.
Oh, right now.
Yeah.
I promise we're still doing nails, guys. Whatever you're thinking, I need to stop it right now.
All right, take it out.
Thank you. So yesterday, we came to the conclusion from all that every time we physically exhaust ourselves, we have this mental clarity and rush of inspiration.
Example, when we conceived the podcast.
Ooh,
when we first thought of it.
That's actually a really excellent. So that day, we walked for fucking miles. It was a wonderful day. We went on a bunch of hikes out in Woodstock. But yeah, by the end of it, we were exhausted. Didn't we work out that day too?
What day was it? Sorry, I'm like in the zone here.
She's painting away. The day that we went out with Kels.
Oh,
I think
we could have, yeah.
So we were physically just gonzo. But as soon as we got in the house, we started talking, and that's when the Eureka effect was born.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm trying to think of another example that's has happened multiple times. And it's normally after a hike or after a really good day being outside and being in tune with nature. And, yeah.
And I have theorized that the reason that we get to this point is because when you push yourself to the limit physically like that, you're exercising your brain in a way that you haven't before, and you're flexing this new brain muscle basically, so you get all this energy towards projects and stuff. Like it's impossible to not be in the flow in nature.
Sorry,
this nail polish.
I don't think it's gonna work.
I don't think it's ready for this.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to use maybe.
I just have to make him thick.
No. We're gonna have to use gel.
Just use the other orange there. That's fine.
Okay. Where were we?
We were talking about inspiration.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And another big thing that we talked about, too, is how how much more strength we were able to conjure up in that setting versus working out at home, which we've been doing every day.
Yeah.
And even compared to the gym, we didn't mention that, but I feel like I have way more stamina at the gym than I do working out at home.
Yeah.
And when we're out for a run.
Well, I think the stamina at the gym comes from everyone being around you. It does for me anyway. Like, I'm not going to go in the gym for 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
No one's actually paying attention, but in my head, everyone is.
That is literally what fuels my fire, too. But I guess that isn't a good lesson to teach, but it is what it is.
That is what it is in that situation. But, like, there were points where so they made us wear life jackets, and thank God, because there were points where I was so limp in the water, I could not physically
Here, come
move.
closer, I think, actually. Sorry.
That's okay.
Because your foot has to be, like, flat. Like, no. Yeah. Oh. Okay, sorry, go on.
Dead fish in the water. I was a dead fish in the water.
Oh, you're talking about how we found a dead fish in the water?
No, I was talking about me being a dead fish in the water.
Oh, but there was a legit dead fish in the water, which was kind of gross. But
there was a couple, actually. Oh, I didn't see them till the end. But I'm not really a fan of fish.
Yeah, you're not. All right. I'm a little bit rusty. I'm not going to lie.
I know, I'm a little bit shaky because I'm, like, hovering my freaking foot. All right, back to the conversation. We're having technical difficulties with the nails, man.
When are we not having technical difficulties? We're just technical difficulty ass.
Man,
girls.
We watched a reading the other day, and I picked this fucking deck, and the next 2 months are supposed to be a real rough time for me.
Man, my reading was like super not good too. When I remember I did a watch reading.
Yeah. I know. What's with the negativity that the world's throwing at us right now?
I know. Oh, and all day today, guys. Oh my God, you should have
been there with us.
Yeah, it was just like one thing after another, but we actually stayed like calm and in a pretty good mood, so that's good.
I literally dyed my hair with hair dye that I had to scrape up off our toilet. So that's how my day went.
And I almost started a fire, but that's...
Oh my God. And those things happened at the exact same time.
Yeah, exactly. I ran in to see what was going on with her, and then I smelled burning rubber, and then I came out and the spatula was touching the...
Oh, the burner.
Yeah, and Jesus, it was not a good time, but...
For some reason, we're still here.
Oh, and then it started piss pour rain, too, when we were out running errands. It got completely soaked.
Yeah.
We were looking for things we couldn't find, and you know what, though? We still got through it, and now we're having fun, and we're doing a little bit of self-care.
We got to Staples too late.
Oh,
Staples
yeah.
was closed. We literally got there 10 minutes late. Gnarly. Yeah, it's going to be a hell of a little time here.
But you know what? We're going to have a fantastic weekend because we're going tubing tomorrow, and then the next day after that, it's our friend Caitlin's birthday, so we're having like a mini kind of festival-like party to make up for the fact that there is no festivals this year due to COVID.
Yeah. A little backyard festival. Yeah. I'm like beyond stoked about both.
Oh, it's going to be a blast.
Sure. It is indeed summer, guys.
Yeah, and the best summer that I've had in a while.
Yeah, and we're like not even a month into it.
I might say that it might be better than summer 2016.
Ooh.
That's saying a lot for me.
Oh,
I think for anybody.
I think, yeah, most people. I definitely don't. Man, summer 2016 was unmatchable for me personally. There ain't nothing that'll ever come close.
Can't put your foot back.
I mean, until next summer.
Okay, I'm going to move my legs a little bit because I'm getting pins and needles.
Why don't you put that on the floor in front of you instead of in your lap?
Yeah, I could.
That's what I was expecting you to do.
It's just I'm going to be hunched over a little bit more. No, I need that foot.
At the same time. Okay. Yeah, next summer. What's happening next summer?
For what?
I said 2016 probably isn't going to be topped until next summer.
Oh, because we want to be out on the road.
Yeah, we want to be in an RV and living our true hippie fantasy.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think I've ever had an idea better than this. Besides
that,
the loading, like the windows loading, sound in the background.
Oh my God, you guys have to understand how fucking absolutely burnt we are.
We've had the longest day, and we've just been going and going and going, too. It doesn't help that we're like complete and utter fucking potheads, but...
Oh my gosh, yeah. Wouldn't it be nice to stop smoking weed? We talk about it a lot, too.
Are we ever going to do it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely someday. I have to. I don't want to smoke weed forever.
Yeah, I know. It's just expensive.
Right. Yeah, expensive.
All right, give me your other foot. I might just kind of prop you up on top of that if it's not. Is that comfortable?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's expensive. It's exhausting.
Yeah, it is. I know. I feel like it's making me kind of a little bit slightly brain dead. Like, I remember how I was saying that, like, I'll go to do something and I'm, like, forgetting the most important component. And then I'll joke to myself, like, that would just be absolutely ridiculous if I forgot that, and then I would go and forget it like I just did. I dyed my hair earlier, and I had the developer and the bowl and the mixer and everything ready to go, and I'm like wandering around my room. I went in there for hair dye, and I was standing there, and I even said out loud, I'm like, I wish I could remember what the hell I'm looking for. And then it occurred to me that I'm looking for the fucking dye. The dye itself, like the creme de la creme. And and I literally did it. I did it today. I don't know why I keep doing it. Is it because I fucking smoke way too much weed?
Or is it because of the ADHD? I think it's mostly because of the ADHD. I will say I did a lot of pacing today in general, but we're also like approaching month, I don't know what, unemployment. So I think just general mania and what's the word I'm looking for? Insanity is to be expected at this point.
Yeah, a bit, I would say.
Especially because we're like in a waiting period. But you know what? Actually, off the ground.
But I don't think, like, I feel like we keep ourselves like quite busy. I'm like constantly doing something.
Busy, but like, I don't know. It feels weird to not be working, basically.
It does, but it feels, you know what? I don't know. Like, I feel like the podcast and everything we're doing to build our brand is kind of like in place of that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's going to be hard if we go back to work. That's why I'm really hoping. So our plan, guys, is basically we want to purchase an RV and travel around Canada and still continue to make content and then have a couple side hustles and really just see the world. And, like, we don't know exactly how we're going to do that, but we know that we want to make it possible and, like, that is our end goal.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just, like... I mean, I would be making content like crazy right now if I had my goddamn phone. So I'm at a standstill here. I mean, I am able to use my old phone to sell stuff on Facebook, but the camera is absolute crap. So I don't think you guys want to be watching anything off of a friggin' potato, so I'll spare you.
Yep, but... It shouldn't be too long. I'm hoping, I don't know if the parts come in on Friday, if they're going to be able to fix it that day.
Well, even if they do, I'm going to have to pick it up on Saturday, so whatever.
Yeah, we'll have to see. And we have that other video, the Partridge Island video, coming out soon, but that one's going to take a little bit of work. It's something different.
Yeah.
Where it's new type of content that we're working on, and yeah, it's going to take a lot of time and effort and research.
Yeah. I mean, we've done a little research already, so I mean, there's a bunch more to go. Partridge Island is a whole can of worms. For sure.
Exactly. And I'm super excited about that video.
I know, me too. I can't wait to compile whatever we're gonna. Our script, I guess, is what it's called.
Yes, yeah, because we're doing a voiceover type, not to give away too much, but
yeah. It's so interesting doing this stuff for the first time. Like, I always obviously knew that editing was a lot of work, and like a lot of work goes into YouTube videos, but holy crap, man, is it ever a hard time? Like, not a hard time, but ever a lot of work.
It's more than you'd expect, but I've almost had a lot of respect for it. Like, I would always analyze that when I was watching YouTube videos, and I've always been curious about it because I've always enjoyed editing film.
Yeah.
And it's something that I've always wondered, and it is a lot of work. It's fun, but I just can't wait till we have a laptop. It's just kind of hard staring at the phone screen, but I still really enjoy it. Like, I get sucked into it.
Yeah, I know. The phone is great, though. It's awesome to be able to just edit right there.
Yeah, exactly. And we're so used to having that small screen. Like, we used to be used to computers and laptops, but somewhere along the way, like our age group, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like people a little bit older, like in their 30s, still are into laptops.
Yeah.
That's what I've noticed, like older people. Yeah. Well, not older people, like older than me.
Older millennials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even a millennial at all, I don't think. I'm pretty sure
I think you're the last ones to sneak in, honestly, because I think you and my sister are the same.
Pardon me. Okay, this for
97, right?
Yep, 97.
Yeah,
a little
bit
bit
further.
Just
squeak in and count as a millennial there.
Okay, and we're back. All right, so we posted on our Instagram story asking you guys for some questions, and we do have some deeper ones, but we want to get into kind of like the lighter stuff, so we compiled just a few questions we're going to talk about.
Yeah. I'm going to just address the fact that I'm the one who's doing the nails this time around now that we're back, so if I trail off or seem gappy, that's why. But that's also why we're keeping it later, so that I can multitask.
Yeah, exactly, because it is kind of a struggle.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Alrighty, get into it. So the first question is, how did you guys meet? Which is a good one because,
I guess everything led us to this point now. My first serving job was at Swiss Chalet here in St. John. And I worked there for quite some time and then ended up moving away to Ontario. Can you go a little bit lighter than that?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. You're doing a good job, but okay. A little bit more gentle. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I worked there for about 6 months, and then I moved out to Ontario. It's actually a little place called Petawawa, which is like an hour and a half away from Ottawa. Anyway, side note. I came back from there, and Hannah just started at Swiss Chalet as well. And interestingly enough, she just came from North Bay, which is only, how far is that from
Petawawa? Yeah. It's maybe like 40 minutes, half an hour. It's like quite close. Like, if you know anything about Ontario and the cities in it, it's crazy that we happen to be in that close of an orbit.
I know.
Together, for sure.
Very strange.
I actually worked at a Swiss Chalet in North Bay before I worked at the Swiss Chalet in St. John.
So it's both our second time working at Swiss Chalet.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, we didn't even really talk that much. We'd smoke darts together.
Yeah, shot the shit a little bit. We mostly talked about I remember us talking about working out and you moving to Ontario and
but
that
very
kind of
light
stuff. Yeah, exactly. I'm I was new to the city and I'm pretty slow to warm up as a person. So just I don't know, you were my coworker, yeah.
Exactly.
We weren't going to talk the way we fucking talk now. I wasn't going to tell you life's a simulation.
And anyway, I go back to Ontario because I was only coming back to St. John for a short amount of time. I had plans to return back to Ontario, so I went out there. And then, when I came back to Swiss Chalet for the third time, it was unexpectedly. I moved home. My past relationship, unfortunately, didn't work out. And, so I moved back to St. John, and I returned to Swiss Chalet, and Hannah was still working there. And at that time, my two best friends, which are Haley and Hillary, I got them the job at Swiss Chalet. And in that time, they became pretty close with Hannah. Yeah. So when I came back, we all were kind of more hanging out, and Hannah was going out for drinks with them. And so we started to intermingle outside of work. And anyway, we got hammered one night.
Oh my God.
The first night we hung out, which was the day after my birthday.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, I was living by myself at the time. And, not even at the time. I was living by myself. And then
that's a long story.
This is just a long story. I'm not going to get sidetracked. But anyway, I needed a roommate desperately. And I just randomly asked her to move in with me. And so we were kind of I don't know if we were talking about it really then and there, but
I at the time I thought that I was going to be moving out in a year, so I was like I appreciate the offer, but now's not the time. I was under the impression I was going to stay where I was staying, but then a couple weeks really after.
I know, it wasn't much long after.
Yeah. My cousin sat me down and was listen, whatever, she wanted to sell the house, and we had she gave us plenty of notice, we had plenty of time, but I just wanted to be out right away because I might as well be in St. John because I don't have a car and it was just easier.
Yeah, exactly. You're spending way too much money having to work.
So I immediately grabbed my phone and texted this one and was so I guess we're moving in together.
Yeah.
And at that point, how well did we know each other? We'd fucking interacted
I know.
A solid I don't know, this is some reality TV shit. This is some The Roommate, The Bachelor.
Exactly. This is something that I find very bizarre, how many we have a lot of weird synchronicities, but when I asked her to move in, it was so random.
I know, I never even expected you to ask me that.
We both were drunk and I don't know, we're having a good time, and I just was it came to me all of a sudden. I'm she lives all the way, she lived 45 minutes away, and she doesn't have a car, and I'm and I needed a roommate, so why not, right?
Yeah. And I don't know if I was talking about moving out at all.
It was just, sorry. No, it's okay. I don't know, it's just kind of a strange coincidence how I had the random urge to ask.
I know, it just came out of your mouth.
And it all kind of worked out really from there.
Yeah.
It's funny though because we both kind of stopped working at Swiss around the same time, so Chalet, and we both got other serving jobs, and we did that pretty much the whole time, most of the time that we lived here for the first 6 months.
Yeah.
And then we got a job together at a call center, and
we started the training class at the same day and everything like that.
Yeah, exactly. So we've been kind of together for a while.
I know. And it's interesting how, like, our relationship has developed, because it wasn't, I wouldn't say shallow, but, like...
Yeah, but it was very, I don't know.
Different than what it is now, anyway,
Oh,
right?
yeah, exactly. And the way that it accelerated, very, very interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, what was the second question?
Let me pull it up here. So, it is, how did the Eureka effect start? Like, how did we get the idea for the podcast?
Okay.
We've kind of touched on this one a little bit, I'd say, but we haven't really... Have we told the story of, like...
I'm not sure, man. It's because we have these conversations all the time, so it's like, what the hell
like,
did we
off
post?
Camera, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we have, honestly.
Well, whatever. Someone asked it, so we might as well just explain it. Okay, so... Like we touched on earlier, when we get a lot of physical activity, I find like that's when we come up with the best ideas. Like I never really put that. I never
realized that.
Recognized the pattern of that before, but I lost my train of thought.
Stoned. I need your please.
Help me out here.
Help me out. So we went on that hike, and on the way back, it was quite a long drive back, honestly. It was like 3 hours.
We actually went on 2 hikes, remember? Because we went to 2 different waterfalls that day. So, on a side note. But we got hella exercise. We're feeling good.
Yeah. We've been talking all day, honestly, having different conversations. And on the way home, we actually got talking about body image, because that's like something that we talk about a lot. Anyway... We got into this deep conversation, and we're like, oh, sorry, because our friend Kelsey was in the back, not really saying anything at all.
Yeah, we didn't even give her, like, the chance to
pipe in.
She was enjoying listening.
Yeah, she was like, oh, no, it's okay, I'm actually enjoying it. And we were like, oh, well, that's good. Like, so we get home, and we're talking, and Courtney had kind of fleshed out the fact that she wants to do YouTube and, like, whatever. And I knew I also had some desire to reach people, but I didn't have that clear of a plan. And we were talking about how it would be so nice if we could just take these conversations that we have and just upload them to the internet.
Well, it was more or less like share them with other people. It wasn't so much like we wanted to upload our conversations into the internet beforehand. I think.
We wanted to make sure we weren't crazy, and we needed answers.
Yeah, we wanted the validation, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
But it wasn't until Kelsey was like, "No, like I really enjoyed listening to your guys' conversation, because I really do think that, like, when we're not super fucking stoned out of our minds, kind of like we are right now, we do have a really nice flow, and I feel like a lot of the times we talk about really important stuff.
Oh yeah,
like I feel like me and you are constantly working through things together. Like
it's very hard on a day-to-day, I find, to get into an engaging conversation, and we have come to a point where we just sort of fall into that for the most part when we don't even mean to.
Naturally, and especially when we're in a heightened vibration, which is like, I don't know, it comes and goes, which is something interesting I'd really like to talk about as well.
Oh, that's what? Are you wired up?
Nope, I think I'm all good.
Okay. So somewhere in there, I was like, oh, kind of like a podcast. And as soon as the word podcast was out there, I think that's when the light bulb went off in our heads. # Eureka effect. And we were like, wait, we could do that.
Oh my goodness,
cats are being fucked right now.
Sorry, yeah, exactly. And how we came up with the name is exactly that, because a lot of people refer to these Eureka moments as downloads. Yeah. And I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and he called it a download, and then I kind of told her about it. And then I heard other YouTubers that we watch reference these enlightenment moments, or there's a bunch of different names for it. But we kind of called it a Eureka moment, and then, I don't know, we had another Eureka fucking download, what have you, and realized that Eureka Effect would be like a pretty bomb-ass name.
Yeah. It kind of rolls off the tongue. Rolls. But yeah, that's how we came to be.
Exactly.
So our next question is, where do you guys plan to take the podcast? So what's our goal with this thing? What is our goal with this thing? That's a good question.
I know. I guess we have multiple different goals. Like, I feel like we have miniature ones that, like, we're really right now we're hoping to reach 1,000 subs.
Beep bop boop bop.
We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, and then 4,000 watch time minutes.
Yeah, so basically we're trying to get to the point where we can monetize ourselves, which will be exciting, and get AdSense. I know people who have.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's impossible at all. It's just, this is so new and so, I guess, crazy, but...
Yeah, well, our short-term goal would be to get monetized, and then our next goal is to become self-sufficient, and then our next goal after that would be to purchase an RV and travel across Canada and just kind of keep up the momentum that we got going, and see beautiful places and meet lots of cool people, and just kind of like live authentically, as corny as it sounds. Oh my god.
Live authentically, like
as in drinking apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, really though.
And getting a pedicure.
Yeah, why don't you go friggin' make a quinoa puff cluster there, you little granola fairy. Yeah, no, I'm on board though. Same. So
yeah, one day. That is basically what our ultimate goal is thus far. And I feel like that's a lot of goals, a lot more goals than I've had in a while. I feel like my goals are becoming more and more clear. I don't know about you, but...
Oh, yeah, big time. Like, I have always known, obviously, I'm a driven person, 100%, but I have never had a clear direction that I've wanted to throw all of my effort into. And I mean, like, all of my effort. Because I have gone to school before, but I really didn't, like, I enjoyed being in school and I love learning, but I don't want to work in child care for the rest of my life. So it just wasn't a good fit. And I've been hesitant since then to throw myself into anything, because I don't want to get, 3 semesters in again and decide it's not for me. And this is the first thing in a long time that's felt right in that way.
Yeah, I can relate to you 100% on that. I went to university. That didn't work out for me. I threw my all into that until I realized that it was more work and it wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
No, university's not fun. College is fun because it's more hands-on, but university is very much just studious, which I don't think a lot of people learn that way, honestly.
But that being said, though, I think I don't learn in that style at all. I'm more of a one-on-one type person, or like I need to be spoken to directly. Like, I need someone to explain it to me. I need to be able to like talk it with people.
Yeah.
But all of the topics that I did take in, or the subjects that I took in university, are super interesting. Like, I find little like parallels now of like things that I learned before, and now it's kind of like clicking in my head, like etymology and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then when I did the nails too, that's another thing that I just wanted to get that out. Like, I put my all into that, and then it was kind of like, no, this isn't for me. It's more or less like the schedule, and I know that it's not something that I'm passionate about. But I guess another side note going into how did we form the Eureka Effect.
Yeah.
It's actually super interesting how many of mine and Hannah's passions are combined to create this brand. Like, I've always been super interested in editing.
I've always been super interesting and entertaining, and obviously have so much to offer. That's
they only want to do fashion. They say I only want to fuck bitches.
Ooh, that's good. Okay, Kanye. Anyway.
Okay. No, I was always super interested in journalism, editing film, I don't know, there's just a lot of, like, writing, which is something, because, we said earlier, how we're going to kind of have, like, a script, and we're also learning a lot of history.
Oh, yeah.
Not to put too much...
History's, like, a new, a passion and pursuit of mine. I always thought it was boring, and now I'm like, oh my god, this is... I mean, as long as it's presented in the right way,
exactly,
obviously.
And we're learning how we want to learn it, and we're learning the things we want to learn, and we're also creating, too, because me and you are both super, like, we have a lot of creative energy, and it's nice to be able to dump all of this energy into something, and it uniquely is satisfying to us, because I think you really like the business side of it too. Like, you're super interested. Like, I feel like there's so many niches within creating this brand, or whatever you want to call it.
Oh god, yeah. And, like, I think I have faith, thank god there's two of us, because I don't think there's
to multitask. I know
it's a lot. There's a lot that we have to stay on top of, but it's good because, like you said, between the two of us, we have a lot of different passions, and there's a lot of give and take. And I mean, do you mind just taking your foot out of it for a sec? What's meant to be is meant to be, and I think this is, you can go ahead now, meant to be, and that's why, I don't know, that's just...
Well, it's divine timing. Everything has led up to this, and, like, that's what we keep saying and stressing. Like, this is everything that we've ever wanted to manifest. We are seeing our childhood manifestations, even, I believe, coming true.
Yeah,
like, I feel like this is always the avenue that I've wanted to take. It's
a lot of YouTubers have talked about that too, because obviously, well, back in the day when you or me were growing up, we didn't have YouTube at the very start when you were 7, 8, you know. I started
watching it very, very young.
Maybe, honestly. Okay, sorry. Maybe this is a generational gap for us, but I didn't grow up with YouTube, and being a YouTuber was not an option growing up. Like, that's when I wrote on my little kindergarten slip what I wanted to be on when I grew up. It was a teacher. But, I mean, obviously I can be that in some capacity. It's just
in the same vein.
Yeah. It's just YouTube is my avenue. Exactly. And how could I have known that when YouTube didn't exist?
Or you just didn't, I don't think, like, the stars quite aligned, or everything, like, clicked until it needed to click, right? Everything is led up to this moment. Because I've always, like, I've never actually seriously thought about being a YouTuber until a certain point. Remember when I started talking about it? But I've heard it from a couple people before that they thought that I should pursue it. Same with you. But it's never something that I seriously pondered. But now I'm like, oh my god, this is, like, I couldn't think of a better job in this vein of like what we're talking about. Like, I never thought that was possible. That's why I never thought it would be my job, or like this is my dream job.
Well, we mentioned I'm a makeup lover, and, like, that's what everyone has always told me to start a channel on, is makeup. And, like, obviously it didn't feel right, so I never did it, but I was interested enough in, you know, YouTube and stuff. Obviously, I think everyone has fantasized about it at some point, because I fantasized about being a pop singer, but I have no desire to fucking do that.
Well, I think the big difference is me and you we both equally do not want to be famous. I do not want people following me around. I don't want people knowing my business. That's why we're in the, like, our niche is not like that, and that's why I'm, like, super pumped, because I can still do what I want to do without, not saying, like, oh my god, I'm gonna be famous someday, but you obviously get what I'm saying.
Like, for sure.
It's like, it's not like a vlogger, like the Ace family, you know what I mean? God, I don't want people knowing my business.
24/7. No, absolutely not. It's more, formal's not really the word, but formal is the word we'll use, because that's all I can think of.
I think it's more, like, educational.
Yeah, educational.
That's what we're trying to do, because I think me and you both consider ourselves light workers, and I think that's kind of like our purpose, and we're finding our purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, that covers all our questions. What time are we at there on the thingamajigger, my dude?
Let me see here.
I'm almost on our toes. We're about halfway through. In case you guys were wondering.
Putting in work. Yeah, there still needs, like, a second coat of the white.
Mine are orange.
I'm a basic bitch and getting white toes.
Yeah, hers are white. I like white toes.
I know, that's what I always go for, because, you know.
Basic or classic? Depends on how you look at it.
So we're at 44 minutes, so I think we could go ahead and wrap this up. I mean,
and slap her on the Podbean.
Okay, so if you are listening on Podbean, then this is going to be out on, what time is it right now?
It's technically Friday.
Okay, so I guess the Podbean podcast is going to be out the same day as our YouTube video because we're technically, oh no, it's Thursday.
Is it oh yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's
Thursday.
technically Thursday. Sorry, erase that whole end part. Posting Podbean as soon as we're done wrapping it up here, and then on Friday we will be posting this in the flow onto YouTube.
And guess what, guys? We're actually on Apple Podcasts now, so you will be able to find us there shortly after the one on Podbean is up. Mm-hmm. So make sure that you follow us on there. Mm-hmm. We also have our Instagram, so you can stay updated on when the next YouTube video is, because there's a couple real bangers coming your way. And yeah, subscribe to that too. Mm-hmm. And we'll see you there.
The Eureka Effect Podcast, and that's a wrap.
All right.
Bye, guys.
And we're done. Love ya.